Good morning. John Hayes here with Hayes Family Farm. We're at the Siebert place this morning. I'm still working on drilling cover crop in here, converting this into perennial pasture. It's been in a corn soybean rotation for many years, and Sieberts have asked us to manage this property, and they'd like to see perennial pasture in here, much like we're doing on the rest of our operation. So just documenting some things out here as we're beginning to manage this piece of property. This morning I'm getting ready to do a water infiltration test to see how quickly we infiltrate water at this point, primarily just for documentation. Once we do the water infiltration test, we'll do a shovel test here in just a few minutes also. So I've got my water infiltration ring in here, I've got my stopwatch here, and I'm going to dump an inch of water in here, and we're going to time it and see how long it takes to absorb this first inch of water. Then once it's done, we'll probably put a second inch in there and see how long it takes it. A little context, this is the 11th day of October 2024. It's been really dry around here. We did get about 2 inches of rain the week before last. So there is some moisture in the ground, but for the last two and a half months, we've had, well, that 2 inches of rain is about all we've had, so pretty dry. So we're going to pour the water in here and get my timer ready. Okay, water's in, timer's on. This could take a little bit. I've done some shovel tests out here already this week, and this ground's really plated. There's no aggregation in the soil, and it's really compacted, so I don't expect this infiltration test to go real well at this point, but we want to document where we're starting at here in our journey down the regenerative path is the sole purpose of doing this morning, and then we can come in here year after year and document once again what kind of progress we're making. Yeah, we've maybe got half of it soaked in so far, and we're at 1 minute 40 seconds. While that's going, I'm going to go ahead and take the shovel here and get a spade full of soil and see what we have going on in the soil, and then that way we can continue and watch this water soak in at the same time. Getting a really hard spot right here. It's probably deep enough for this test here. Going on 2.5 minutes over here on the timer, and we've still got, probably just a little less than a ½ inch of water left in there. Notice how hard this ground is as I try to pull this spade full. Okay, it's finally coming up here. See how this is breaking apart in clumps like this? The soil's structure is just totally collapsed and all compacted together. We're at 3.5 minutes and still a lot of water in there. I'm gonna bring this up closer to the camera. and you should be able to see that we don't have any aggregation here in this. Oh, there is a little earthworm. That's exciting to see. Not a lot of smell to it, but sort of a bacterial, anaerobic type smell to it. Looks like we're at about 4.5 minutes and still a bunch of water in there. I'm going to bring this up closer to where you can see it in the camera also. You can see how this soil's just plated right here. Once we get some living roots in this soil, with a lot of grass roots in here, we're gonna start seeing those fibrous roots build aggregation, and this is going to change a lot over a rather short period of time. Yeah, we're going on 5.5 minutes and not much going on there. Unfortunately, this is the type of soil conditions that I would expect to see in a piece of ground that's been corn soybean farmed. Has been no-till out here, at least off and on over the last few years, but minimum tillage otherwise. But this is very, very common to see this kind of soil structure on soybean ground like this. Again, just no aggregation in it at all. And we can change that. That's the exciting part. We can change this, and it won't take very long to change this with lots of diverse living roots in the soil. And then we're going to be grazing with cattle in here. We'll plant this cover crop now, and then springtime we'll come in here, and then we'll bring the cattle through here and graze this in the spring. Plant a summer annual cover crop in here next year after the spring grazing's done. Graze it again late summer, early into the fall. So we'll be making a lot of change to this in a short period of time. So that's the exciting part. Going on 7 minutes, and that water's not going anywhere. Okay, here we are, 12.5 minutes, and there's still well over a quarter of an inch of water in there, maybe still closer to half. So going on 13 minutes. Okay, here we are at 50 minutes, and we've still got well over a quarter inch of water there that's still standing. So this is going to be well over an hour. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I'm not sure I'm going to sit here and watch the whole thing. I've got a tractor sitting here that needs to be running and drilling cover crop right now, and it's a beautiful day outside. We'll see where we're at here at 60 minutes, and then we'll probably call it. Okay, here we are at 1 hour, and we still have at least a quarter inch of water in that ring. So we've only infiltrated 3/4 of an inch in an hour, and I don't have time to sit here and watch this any longer, so we're just going to say it's well over an hour to infiltrate the first inch in what's pretty dry ground. I'm going to take the shovel here and I'm going to pop this ring out. And we'll be able to see if that water's doing anything. Yeah. There's one little wormhole right here, or a couple little wormholes down here where there's some water getting to right there, but the rest of it's just sitting there. Yep, I'm going to knock this soil out of this ring and get things cleaned up here. Let's just get another little look at this sample right here. This is upside down what I dumped out of that ring. And that's maybe the first inch right there. It's kind of muddy below that first inch there. We've just got this that's hard. That's why this water's not going in. Water's not going to infiltrate that. That's just almost like solid clay right now. Okay, we're here at the Siebert farm still. We just did our water infiltration test out there in the field where we were planting cover crops. Now I've stepped over here into the fence row, just 30 yards away from where we did the infiltration test out in the field, and we're going to do the same thing here in the fence row to see what we have, see if there's any difference, and if so, how much. So I've got my ring in the ground here, got my timer ready to go, and I've got my bottle of water here that's got 1 inch of water in it to fill this ring, and we're going to pour it in and start the timer. Okay, there we go. It's soaked in and it's gone in about 10 seconds. Now I'm going to pour I brought a second bottle of water, another inch. I'm going to pour another inch of water on top of here and see how long it takes it. Got the timer going. Pour my other bottle of water in here. This is the second inch. All right, it's gone. 2 inches in 40 seconds. As compared to 60 minutes over there in the field and only about 3/4 of an inch of water infiltration. So here's a perfect example of the drastic difference between soil that's been allowed to sit here undisturbed and have living roots in it year round right here in the fence row, and what kind of water infiltration is possible here as opposed to out there where we've been managing things much differently in the corn soybean rotation.